Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Between Realities VR podcast, the VR podcast of your dreams. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here with us on Friday, right? It's Friday.
It is Friday this time, yes.
It's a Friday.
Yes.
Woo, and we're live like we always are on Fridays. I might even have said, did I say the last episode that it was Friday?
I don't know.
I don't feel like remembering saying it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
I remembered it was Wednesday after the show.
Well, hopefully people knew what day it was.
Well, I
We
didn't.
didn't screw anyone up that
I
bad.
never, dude. It's ever since I was 21. Time has just been a figment of my imagination.
It's a figment of everyone's imagination.
Oh, that's true. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here with us. My name's Alex VR. I am co-host of the show. Joined alongside me, as always, is my great, great friend, Skiva. What's up, man?
What up? How are you today, bud?
Pretty good. Pretty
right.
good.
Awesome.
We've been going, bro.
We have been going. We have been going, doing stuff every day, making stuff happen. It's been great.
It
so tiring, but great.
Yeah, 4 shows this week with ours and another one for myself. And Skiva actually has 5 shows that he's done this week or will have done this week.
Yeah. Sweet.
Which is nuts. So, yeah, we're staying busy, but we're having a lot
Plus
of fun.
preparing for like the Amusement Expo and GDC and all of these fun things. So
Yes.
good stuff.
Yes, indeed. Hey, everybody, thank you for being here with us in the live broadcast. And, of course, if you're catching this after the fact, thanks for watching as well.
Yeah, thanks.
Listen, Licks Nix, I've got you as number 1, but I did see a name earlier, which is no longer in my list, so
I
unfortunately.
wonder why YouTube does that.
I don't
Why does
know.
it get rid of the comments?
Yeah,
It's
it
kind
like
of weird.
holds on to him until like the hour before the show or
Yeah.
something and then kicks him. But
Strange.
either way, hey, Licks Nix, what's up, man? Good to see you here. Thanks for joining. A little Paradise Decay is here.
P.
Hey,
Diddy.
man. Are we
What's
there
up?
yet? Well, now we are. So good to see you, man. Mateusz, Ohio. He was telling PD to take a nap. I hope Mateusz, Ohio didn't pass out waiting for the show to start. Here we are. We're up and running. We're live, baby. Mike Newton at last the weekend. That's right, my friend.
Yes.
Thank you for helping us ring it in.
Oh, I'm not going to miss this week.
Yeah, it's I feel like you've been trudging through it this week, man.
It's been a tough one.
Surgical Gaming's here. What's up, man?
What's up, Surgical Gaming?
Z-Storm Games.
Z.
Yo, let's go. That's right, baby.
What up,
The
Z?
bearded bard, Daniel from
Oh,
VRTrend.
Dude, heck yeah.
We love him.
We do. And if you do hop over to VRTrendMagazine.com and you buy a back issue, you can use the code Between Realities to get $5 off that previous issue.
Boom.
So
Seriously.
do it. There's
You
some
should do it.
good stuff.
And you can almost get like a little preview. Like you can go on the website, you can look at the issues
Yep.
that came out, you can choose the one you want to get, and then get $5 off of it using the code Between Realities, which
Heck yeah.
is pretty cool.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we've got Andy, Obscure Nerd VR.
What's up, Andy?
What's up, bro? Good to see you, man. You were so close to winning a prize on QTC's show last night.
Yeah.
Like
a hair.
So
by a
close.
hair.
Paul from the VR realm. Hey, everyone. What's up, man?
Paul?
Thanks for being here,
How's it
dude.
going?
Little Duggars K in the house. Hey, y'all. Little
Duggars.
Laszlo216 in the house.
What's up,
Hello from
Laszlo?
CLE. Is that Cleveland? Is that short for Cleveland?
Probably.
I'm going to say, hey, what's up, Cleveland? I hope that worked. Chroma Snare, what's good, man? Good to see you, buddy.
Roma, what's up?
Hilt VR, yo.
What's up,
Ataru
dude?
X1, hey. Good to see you, dude. Zach Wilder just scored a PS5. Now it's time to start
Nice.
saving for the new HMD. Probably a good idea.
Congrats on that.
Seriously.
Nice.
Yeah, not everybody has one.
Mhm.
Bobby Carlton, yo.
Dude, Bobby, what's up?
Go follow Bobby Carlton on Twitter if you know what's good for you. Or Instagram, I guess, is also where you can find him.
Yep.
Oh,
He does
hey.
some great stuff for VR Scout.
Yes, he does. Florian Fahrenberger. What's up, baby? Good to see you, Florian. Thanks for checking out the podcast, man, and being here. He's like been he's like the cross pollination from Behaptics. You know, he's like
Oh,
we knew
cool.
each other from the Behaptics community, and
Yeah,
now he's kind of
yeah.
seeping into the Between
Nice.
Realities side of things.
Nice.
And I'm all about it, dude. So thanks for being here. Bobby Carlton taking a poll, Team Skiva or Team Alex. Wow. What are you trying to do?
Yeah, don't tear us
What
up,
are you
man.
trying
We're
to do?
a team.
Yeah.
It's team Between Realities.
Because
yeah.
like, you know, I really don't want to I don't want to get competitive there. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know, then I'll look like a dick or something. I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
Mepper, hey y'all, what's up, Paradise?
What's up, Mepper?
Decay, he's shouting out Paradise Decay. So good to see you, Mepper. Sadly, it's Bradley, dude. You made it.
What's
in time.
up, Sadly?
Sadly, it's Bradley. Just
Bradley?
finished. What's up, Sadly?
It's Friday. Give me a break.
I will. I don't know if he will, but I will. Sadly, it's Bradley just wrapped up a
Great live stream.
pretty long live stream with like just, casual 200, 300 people chilling, like listening to him go off about stuff. Man, good for you, bro.
A legend. He has become quite the legend in the
Literally
community. Yep.
Literally has.
For good reason.
Short Stack VR. He's here.
Stacks.
Oh, Midlife Gamist VR.
Oh, what's
here.
up? What's up?
Everybody, thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Let's see someone else. We've got someone on the show.
Do we now?
We have guests on our show.
Sometimes.
Here on Between Realities, we have a guest on the show, a minimum of one guest on the show when we do these shows, and today is no different. We are excited for this one because this is someone who we have had the chance to meet in real life, and we are fans of the content that she creates. She's all about making things as immersive as possible, and I think that that's something that all of us in the VR community can relate to.
Heck yeah.
So let's everyone please welcome to Between Realities, GingasVR. Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
GingasVR. Welcome
Me.
to the Between Realities spaceship. It is an amazing pleasure to have you here with us.
It's pretty great up here. Wow.
Yeah. Make yourself comfortable. We're happy to have you here with us. We have been fans of the content that you've been putting out for a long time, and as I just mentioned, we had the chance to meet up in Vegas during CES, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you saw my eyes.
We
You had to
saw
see 'em.
the eyeballs.
Yes, actually.
The legendary eyes.
I think I have.
You know what? This is against your will. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to scare you. We don't actually have images of the eyes, but we do have some beautiful selfies that we managed to take at the
Let's
event.
see if I can bring one up. Oh, there we
Hey.
are. So as you can see, Gingas always has her googly eyes. She walked in, couldn't figure out how she was not walking into walls. But yeah, look at that.
I
guess
have a pair on me all the time, just for emergencies.
Yes, it's important
Yeah.
to make
The
sure
world
that.
can't know.
So what's the deal with that? Like, how did that happen? When you were starting this up.
Yeah, so I don't know. There was this old channel called Get Good Gaming. I don't remember the guy who ran it, but they used to, this was back in like 2016, they used to do mixed reality with like a googly eye headset for a while. And I was a fan of them, but then they just stopped doing it and they stopped making VR content. So when I started my channel, I always thought that was a good idea. So I just, did the
Boom.
googly eyes thing and I've just kept going with it because
It does look pretty
my thing
hilarious.
now.
Like watching you talk right now with your mouth moving and those googly eyes staring back at me, just like staring into my soul. It's pretty hilarious.
yeah, it gives it a bit of personality,
So how was your CES experience? Was that your first in-person tech event?
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever gone to something like that. I thought it was great. I think we were talking, the OWO vest was one of my favorite things that I got to experience. So I didn't get to try the Tesla suit like some people
Well,
here. Right? I wanted to, but I didn't have the chance to do that. The OWO suit and then the smell-o-vision thing was cool.
yeah, that was fun.
the Celia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. The
yeah,
OWO,
it's
the
a cool
OWO
one.
vest was pretty exciting. I was like losing it the whole demo. Like the whole time I was in there, I was
Yeah.
just like laughing and like freaking out because the effect of it is quite intense. Like I don't know if it was intense for you, but for me it was like really intense, like quite uncomfortable and like definitely painful, and it really added something else to the experience for sure.
Yeah. I think I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I'm worried like they're not going to have a lot of support for games because bHaptics has taken a long time to get support for all these things, and it's very easy.
Takes a
to
long
mod it in there,
time.
but-
It doesn't just happen, right? Someone has
Yeah.
to be out there, making this stuff happen.
Yeah.
It is tough.
convincing people that they need to
Exactly.
implement these things. So.
Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's kind of like, I imagine there's a sweet spot, of like, adoption of the tech versus like the size of the studio versus, you know, the amount of time that they have available to them versus where they are in their development cycle. You know, like all of those things kind of have to line up a little bit. You know, like there are games that I see coming out that I want bHaptics in before it comes out, you know, but it's so hard to convince a developer to spend their time developing the game to like take a break for a second to like plug in a peripheral that like, you know, maybe a small percentage of their player base is going to be able to take advantage of. And bHaptics, thankfully for me, and I'm proud to say, is a company that has managed to really do a good job of getting out there now, and they're involved in a lot, and it's much, much easier for companies to just take a glance at it and be like, okay, I see what's going on here, cool, we can do it. Whereas, you know, the OO Vest has an uphill battle in front of them. You know, like that's going to be it's probably going to be years, like to your point, before they're able to like hit that sweet spot and start to see some of the adoption with the developers that they'd like to see.
And also, do you want to feel pain in games? Like I've been questioning that myself. Like, am I gonna want to put this on every single time to get shocked? I don't know.
That's a really, really good question. So for anyone out there that doesn't know, this thing will hurt you if you want it to. If you turn it up to a certain level, it will cause physical pain. There is a knife stabbing simulation, you know, for all the way down to like you know, rain and stuff, right? And it's it can hurt. At the same time, if you want like legit immersion, you know, getting shot and stuff
immersive.
doesn't feel good.
But she said,
was it like when I was doing it? Were you scared to get shot by the bullets? I kind of like it made me not want to get hit.
Yes, it made me not want to get hit. And you're getting to where I'm trying to go with this right now. You mentioned games. The answer is no. No one wants to feel that when they're playing a game. But they do, and there's value in it, in my opinion, when you are trying to teach someone something. When you are trying to inflict a consequence for your actions, which is what you're getting at right now. Like with bHaptics, my consequence for getting hit by something is I feel it on my vest, and maybe it's even more fun now. You know, like when I make bHaptics videos, I have to intentionally get hit by stuff so I can feel whether or not the haptic is legit. You know, so I'll get in the way of things, and it's exciting in that moment when you're getting smashed by a T-Rex or whatever, and you're feeling the haptic response. But when I was doing the demo at CES with the OO Vest, I was actively avoiding getting hit because I did not want to feel that. So if you are training someone on like an oil rig, like you used as an example the other day, and it explodes and it hurts them, they're gonna like be careful to not make those mistakes. And I think that as a teacher, pain is one of the most valuable teachers out there. So I think it's a good one.
It is. It legit is. I mean, you don't want. You know, I would imagine that wearing something like this during gameplay and having it cranked up to where it would hurt you would actually improve your scores, right? You would do better because you are legit. Like when your body feels like it's in danger and it's going to experience pain, you know, it starts to heighten your awareness, and you are able to kind of do things that you normally may not be able to do unless there was that consequence of having some kind of real pain involved.
Or maybe it's making it a more impactful training exercise because now you're like in the heat of it as opposed to like in some like bubblegum version of it, you know, like you're like closer to like the level of intensity of what you might experience from the real thing as opposed to just some like flat screen video game designed to teach you how to be on an oil rig or something like that.
I'd kind of want to watch like esports with people wearing the vest, though. I feel like that would be exciting. Like the masochist in me wants to watch like people.
Totally. And there's honestly
getting shocked when they're
honestly a part of me that even thought to myself, this would make sense to wear underneath the bHaptics vest. Because
I thought that too.
You could feel like the pain from when you like actually get hit by something, but then the vibrations from recoil or like environmental hazards like explosions in the distance, because you don't need to feel an electric shock from feeling like the shock wave of an explosion.
Right.
You know, so they're like those two things actually could blend together in a really intense haptic experience.
They definitely could.
You know, and by the way, I've got to shout it out to Florian in the chat. You know I mentioned him earlier, but he was just saying, and by the way, if the cycles don't line up, you always have your modding community, which Florian is an absolute monster. And this dude single-handedly has made 25 bHaptics mods for PC games.
Wow. Good job, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like tons of them. Pistol Whip, Vertigo Remastered, I Expect You to Die 2. He just did Zenith because it's not here yet, so he made one for Zenith.
Wow.
Like Gorilla
I'll have to
Tag.
check that out.
Like come join the BHaptics Discord and hit up Florian. He'll show you his list. And they're also all on the BHaptics website as well. But this guy single-handedly has made 25 different PC VR games work with the BHaptics Fest.
Damn.
Yeah,
Good
where
job.
we
That's
could not get it
awesome.
done natively.
Huh.
Pretty epic.
That
man.
is epic,
Yeah.
man. Wow. And I feel like it's so much more of a challenge sometimes to mod these things in because you're kind of going around things and trying to make something work that shouldn't, right? Where the developer plugs it in, plugs it right in the code, and it's a lot easier. So mad props to you, dude.
Yep.
Thanks for making that better for all of us.
And Genghis, you know a thing or two about modding too, don't you?
I do. I got started in 2008. I'm not going to say like I'm an expert modder, but I made this whole overhaul for Fallout VR, which some people might know about. And I did that in 2020. So I initially wanted to try streaming Fallout VR when I first got started with Twitch, but the performance was terrible, as a lot of people probably know about. So I spent months trying to optimize it and get it to a playable state and add stuff that would make the VR experience better. And then I found out about this thing called Wabajack, which if you don't know what that is, it's this automated installer. So you can just install someone else's modded profile and you don't have to worry about anything. You click it, kind of like a game install. And I was like, if I'm going to spend all this time, I may as well just make this automated installer for people so other people can stream it or, have fun with Fallout VR. So I did that over I've been doing it now 2-ish years, just kind of maintaining it. And it's a better VR game. So I become friends with a lot of modders.
Good
and
job.
I think it's more playable than
Yeah.
it once was.
Good job. You saw a pain point and you're like, I'm gonna fix that.
Yeah.
And you fixed it.
That's pretty awesome. I haven't gone all the way through Fallout 4. I wanted to, but someone came over and ruined my save game, and it was this whole thing. But I do want to go back through, and now I have even more incentive to do so because I can throw on my stuff, right? Or does this work with? Is there a mod?
It works
for
with
the Haptics?
VHaptics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
Sweet.
there's a mod.
So I can do that.
Use
and I
my
can,
thing. It's in
Yeah,
there.
and I'll use all your mods. So that's exciting.
So did you learn how to code or something like in the past and then use some of that skill here? Or did you learn how
Yeah,
to
a little bit. I'm on and off. I know a little bit about coding. I know how to script in Papyrus, which is Bethesda's own scripting language, and it's useless for everything else.
Wow.
They
Damn.
made their own thing, so I'm not even an expert in it. But trying to
So
think the guy's name who made the BHaptic stuff for Skyrim.
is that She's
I'm friends
Off?
with him. She's off. He's
Yeah.
really good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, those mods are awesome. So much attention to detail. Yeah, they're really, really good. So have you always been into tech and games and stuff like that? And how did you get started in virtual reality?
I was following the Palmer Lucky stuff back since 2012. I just been following along with the Kickstarter. I wanted to get a DK1, but I never had the chance to. So in 2015, HTC and Valve were demoing the original Vive, and that's when I got convinced to buy it at that point. So I saved up money and I got the original Vive in 2016 when it launched, and I've just been obsessed ever since.
Nice.
Pretty much all I do now.
Were you a traditional video gamer before that happened?
No. I mean, I always kind of liked the weird games. I originally built my PC for No Man's Sky because I just thought it was a really interesting concept, but that didn't turn out well when it launched.
Not when it
did not.
launched. Not when it launched. But
No,
they
it's good now.
have turned it around. So
I've always kind of been a PC gamer, though. My brother got me into it when I was super young. So I've always just kind of been into tech. And I don't know, but I get bored really easily. So I'm always trying to find the new exciting thing. Even with VR, I'm trying to figure out new ways to make it more immersive and see how deep you can actually go into this stuff.
That's obvious in your content. I think if you take one look at your YouTube or your TikTok channels, you can see that you are definitely trying to up the ante, and you're definitely trying to push it and make more happen, and be on that bleeding cutting edge of the potential and the possibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you say that you get bored easily, because I feel like you've been playing Skyrim forever.
I can explain that. So it is an old game, but I think because it's so open and you can do so much with modding that there's some really impressive stuff. So Kanger, he's one of my friends, he made a mod where you use a brain interface device, I'm used to, and you can control spells using like brain power, which nothing
Sick.
else like that exists right now. I'm sure you can do stuff like that in Neos, but Skyrim is this huge world that you can just like
And it's a
explore and actually
game.
play the game.
Like Neos is not a game.
Yeah.
Like, you might be able to play a game in there maybe if
Yeah,
you
like-
try hard enough, but Skyrim
Like there's no
definitely can.
purpose.
epic.
Like Neos is great, but you don't really have a purpose to the worlds.
Yeah.
There's some like stuff like the Meta movie is one of the things that I tried, and I love that because there was like you go
Oh,
through this
yeah.
whole.
I will praise that
Thing.
until forever. Like I
Yep.
loved the meta
Yeah.
movie. It was
If you guys
so
haven't
good.
tried it, try the Meta movie.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
One of the coolest things ever. But I will say that I think there is absolutely a purpose to something like Neos, right? Because having a social environment where you can go in and hang out with people and bond and make connections and strengthen connections and just, hang out.
Let's change
is
the
a-
word
Yeah, yeah.
purpose
Huge.
to
For
objective.
sure. I mean, I think
Okay.
I meant more like level up.
Objective.
Like,
Okay.
There's an
I gotcha.
objective. Yeah.
I feel you.
Like,
I feel you.
RPGs.
Yeah. So when did you like what happened where in your journey where like you were like, oh, I'm definitely making videos, like because you were into VR, but you weren't like making videos or anything at that time, I assume.
So I started making videos. I used to do a lot of full body dancing in VR chat, and I would animate these like complex animations, and I would dance along with it. No one else was really doing that in VR chat at the time, so I would do these performances, and people were like, "Oh, you should put this on YouTube or something so people can watch it later." That's how I started my channel, and then I didn't really do anything with it until 2019. Where I was like, that's when I started doing the mod stuff for Fallout, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll make some tutorials and do some of that. That's when I started to take it more seriously. And then last June is when I got started with TikTok, and I thought it was super cringy for the longest time. But then I just started doing it, and I started to, put up these funny videos, and they were getting views, so I just continued with that, and I don't know.
And there it is.
Kinda
And now here we are.
up
Now
weird
you're
thing ever
sitting with
since.
us on Between Realities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many followers do you have on TikTok right now?
Around 290,000, I think. -ish.
Look at that.
Dang.
Damn.
That's 290,000 people that pushed a button. Like,
Yeah.
You have to push the button.
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
button pushes.
Like subscribing on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I
or
don't
whatever,
really
right?
use TikTok.
The
so-
algorithm is weird though. Like when I only had like 500 followers and I was getting videos that hit like 20, 30,000 views. So you don't need a lot of followers to get views in there, which is
Mhm.
nice.
So what? Because there's a pretty wide variety of content on your channels. Like you will. There's stuff where you like dress up as characters and play the character and do the haptics and do it all on top of it. And then there's
Yeah.
there's like stuff with the mods in Skyrim where you are using
Feet
your
Saber.
voice. It's
Do a lot of
Feet
Feet Saber.
Saber. My personal favorite was when you attached the Vive tracker to your cat. And like we're like watching your cat move around in the virtual environment because like the model of the cat was just so rigid and like sliding around, and I just found that absolutely
I
hilarious.
almost made that a real thing. I got it to the point where like it was overlaying in Steam VR, but then I could never get my cat to wear the tracker. So I'm like, I'm just gonna give. It's not worth continuing with this. And I know Oculus came out with that Sense thing, so it kind of seems. I don't know what it's called, but you can like see things that walk into your place.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's really weird. Actually, have you messed around with that
Yeah.
at all, Skiva? Have you seen that?
I haven't messed around with it because I'm usually in my index or the Reverb G2. So I haven't used my Quest that much lately, if I'm being honest with you.
It was somebody else's Quest. I think it was when we were in Vegas for the Failed to Render thing. Like someone
Oh,
gave me a
yeah.
Quest, and they
Yep.
were like, "Hey, look at this!"
Yep.
And I saw that thing that you're talking about, where like
Yeah,
someone
it's
enters the
weird.
space, and it was wild. Like I was like, "Whoa!" It did not look like I imagined it to, and it kind of clicked. Honestly, I was like, "Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I kind of see how this maybe would be good."
Yeah, for sure. You got a dog or something that comes in and you're doing kick flips and stuff like Genghis does, and just like you're not going to want to, you could murder your animal, so you don't want to do that.
Dude, Genghis, you jump all over your crib. You're like jumping into the air, doing like flying kicks and stuff like that.
I'm a black belt in Taekwondo.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
That'll help. A,
Nice.
do you have downstairs neighbors? B, do they hate you? C, have you had any catastrophes with your tech as you jump around and get all crazy?
No, I live in a house, so luckily I don't have downstairs neighbors. One time I was yelling "Fuster da," and my neighbor did knock on my door, and they were concerned. And I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Nothing's happening here."
So explain what you mean by that. You were yelling. What were you yelling?
This was before I started making videos. I was shouting "Fuster da." I was like actually shouting.
You were
it
just like playing
louder.
the game and just like creating your own
Yeah.
immersion overload. So you're just like, I'm gonna yell, damn it, and you're just
Well,
yelling.
so in Skyrim, I have a thing where you have to shout to use the shouts. Like you actually have to say "Fuster da" to have it go off. And my neighbor got concerned about that one time when I was yelling.
Yeah, I'm sure gamer culture has created quite a few concerned neighbors over the years. Like you're sitting there raging in front of the TV or like yelling at your like teammates or whatever who didn't back you up. And you're just like, you back me up, and just like screaming and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the neighbor's like, oh my gosh, like what's going on over there? It's just you playing a video game. It sounds like something terrible is happening, but you're just gaming.
Right? How many people actually scream at the characters and then actually have it work?
Yeah.
Right? So that's
And
pretty
you
cool.
can talk to the characters. This is why you have to play Skyrim. It's the best game. At least from like an immersion standpoint. I can't really think of another game that lets you talk to NPCs.
Did you play Skyrim pre-VR?
Yeah, I've always, I've been into
Okay.
it since it launched. But the reason I like it now is not so much the game. Like, I don't know. I kind of just like going around the world and just seeing what I can do. Just kind of getting
I
lostness in it.
love Skyrim VR. I did not play
That's
the
great.
original Skyrim, so my very first Skyrim experiences were in virtual reality on the PSVR, and I was hooked. I loved it. It was so good, and I put a
You gotta try
bunch
the
hours into
fan
it.
thing. It's my favorite mod. I hooked up a smart plug and I have these two fans and it blows wind on you depending on where you are. So you can feel temperature.
That is really awesome. I probably will do this at some point. One of these days.
It's great.
Maybe if I
I
can
was
get back to
going
streaming
to.
or
I
something.
remember when that mod came out, but it only worked with like 2 different smart plugs, I believe, and I had a different kind that I already had a bunch of. So I was like, oh, man. But yeah, that's so cool, right? Like walking outside and you expect wind and you feel the wind. I mean, that's super, super immersive right there. That's some void stuff, right?
Yep.
Like the void. So that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gone to any
You don't
of
have to
those?
go outside in real life.
Woohoo!
Just live in VR.
Just go outside, inside.
Yeah, the graphics are pretty
yeah.
nice out there, but I prefer going into the computer.
I really do love that like popular video that went around. It was like, this man is experiencing what they call AR, actual reality. And he just like has like an empty headset on. He's just like touching like leaves and trees, and it's just like pretty
Actual
hilarious.
reality. That's awesome.
I got to try an AR headset. Unreal sent me one. So it was cool. I've been
Nice.
messing around with that.
I've seen some videos you've been putting out on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What do you think about it?
It's an interesting device. I don't think it's for normal people yet, because even there's not a whole lot you can do with it. But it was. I haven't really tried a lot of AR stuff before, so I was pretty impressed with it. You can it's got like full room tracking, 6 depth of fields. You can walk around objects, see them pop up in front of you.
Well, that's pretty awesome. So Alex and I did get to try the Unreal stuff. We did a private demo at CES 2020,
This is
right
2 years
before
ago.
the world blew up, right? And it was kind of cool. It had some interesting things. The field of view wasn't the best, but the holograms looked good. There's no occlusion, I believe. So like holograms can't go behind things, right? But overall, it is probably the closest thing we have to glasses-looking AR devices.
Yeah.
So,
And I'll tell you what, I mean, I've done a handful of AR headsets at the conventions that we've gone to, and I have never really been super impressed with any of it, to be completely honest. I am impressed how much work and effort and love goes into making these early versions of these things happen, but there's just no way in hell I'm going to like grab it and put it on and do anything in them.
Yeah.
But there was a company, and I really wish I could remember the name right now. Maybe you'll remember it, probably not. But at VRX in San Francisco 2019, where they had like a 180-degree field of view.
It was fire something.
Yeah, fire dimension.
Something like that.
But
I couldn't use it because I didn't have an Asian
fit
nose.
on your head. Yeah. But I did put it on, and the 180-degree field of view was absolutely the difference maker.
Yeah.
Like with the Nreal, it's almost like you have this like little window, which is like your
and that's
sweet
all
spot,
of them, right?
and
It's
that's it.
HoloLens.
You know, it's like a square, and you can see
magically.
the edges of the
kinda
images get cut off.
around.
And in this, they opened it up big time, and it was like so much better. I was like, oh man, this is the best AR headset I've ever put on. And it probably wasn't. It was just the one with the widest field of view.
Yeah.
So I think when they start to like get closer to what that thing was doing, there will be a lot more people who are getting excited about them.
I gotta say, my favorite AR headset that I have ever used is the Magic Leap. And I can't tell you for sure that it's the headset that made it my favorite. It was probably the experience of what I played. You know, like I remember running around
Was that with
Dreamland
Yeah.
XR, right, which is a side convention off of CES. It didn't happen this year, but it happened last CES. That's all XR related stuff. And Nicole Lazaro
Yeah.
created this experience in the Magic Leap where it transformed the room you were in into this crazy cavern with crystals everywhere, and you had to kind of navigate through this area and collect things, and it was just a super fun AR game, and I really enjoyed it. But I think I think Magic Leap is pretty cool, and they actually have a new headset coming out here real soon, and they finally
I heard about that.
revealed the design for the Magic Leap 2, which looks pretty good. It's got one of the things that's interesting of these controllers, right? It has the cameras on the controllers, like we've been seeing leaks for in the Quest 2, where it's tracked by, cameras in the controllers, which is super interesting. So now we know this is a legit thing, that this is possible, because we see a company here using this. We don't know how well it works, right? Because I've never tried it. I don't think you've ever tried it.
And it does VR too, right? It's like a VR AR.
I think it's just AR because this has the clear lenses, right? Where it puts that holographic display over the real world, and because of that, the holograms are kind of see through. It's not like a Lynx or something, right? Where it's passed through AR, and then they can completely make the images not see-through and have them very realistic and blend AR with VR. But this looks pretty good, because I think ultimately what we want here is glasses, right, that display AR stuff, and not necessarily to walk around with a VR headset on with pass-through cameras. So
I think they have to make it untethered though. Like I don't see it really catching on until AR.
Right. Yeah, and this has the little computer.
Like I would just use VR, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because this has the little computer puck that you have to stick on your belt, and it does a majority of the computing within that little puck that's there. So they couldn't get all of the tech required in the glasses, but as we move forward and things miniaturize and we get better at this kind of technology, this is the future we're heading towards, and it's what everyone's trying to go for, right? But it's kind of the same with Nreal, right? You got to connect the Nreal glasses to a phone.
And I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. I mean, how long?
It's going to happen.
Only now have people started to, I would say, as a majority, shift into wireless headphone solutions for their cell phones and iPods. People walked around with cords dangling from their ears for years.
Yep.
Because if you want to use the thing, you'll be willing to with a cable.
Yep.
To do it. So.
You will. We go through a lot of friction and a lot of stuff to play VR and to be more immersed in VR. It's one thing to put on a headset like a Quest, turn it on, launch into a game, and do your thing. It's another thing to hook up a PC VR headset, deal with some of the issues, then on top of that, throw on a haptic suit, the vest, arms, face piece, get all that working, put on body trackers, get them on your feet, get them on your waist, put them all, it is a lot. It's a lot of friction. And there's also a lot of things that go wrong sometimes, right? And then you're stuck battling this stuff when you just want to be playing. So, we're getting there. We're getting there. Everyone's working on it. So that's pretty awesome.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Whatever. AR to me is like, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like a little side dish,
For now.
Yeah.
It's like
I
not
don't
on
know
my
the
plate.
big use cases for it. Like I'm trying to think.
Eventually,
maybe
so-
watching movies. I don't know.
I mean, now it would be something like that.
Yeah.
But there's so many use cases for it down the road, right? I mean, imagine you go over to your car and something's wrong with it. You pop the hood and there's arrows pointing at the different pieces, and here's where the screw is. You pull that out, and then you click. You come over here, or education. There's a lot of things. Education-wise, that would be great. Or walking down the street and seeing people's name tags above their heads, and you don't ever have to be in that awkward situation of, oh, I know you. What's your name
But then
again?
there's going to be
Right?
ads. Then you're going to start seeing ads.
Of course, especially with Meta's involvement. They are pushing hard in R&D for augmented reality because they want to push ads in your face constantly.
Well, something that you said to me, Skiva, has really resonated with me for a while. It really, whenever AR kind of gets pulled into the conversation, and you said to me, and this is a loose quote, I cannot wait till we go back to being a two-handed species again. And what you meant by that is that we always have a cell phone in our hand whenever we're doing things. If I'm navigating in my car, I will use the pop socket to rest my phone in my hand so I can see the navigation going as I'm driving around. If we could take that image and just overlay it onto the road, I'm freed of the device. And if we're sending messages to each other, this device is filling my hand and I'm typing with the other. And if we could just give me my hands
and you're
back.
looking at videos and you're going on social media and you're checking your feeds and hitting Twitter and blah, 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 blah. But eventually that will all be able to be a peripheral vision thing where you'll just be able to kind of pull that stuff in as you need it. Right, exactly. And we'll be able to have both hands again. Two of them.
Sounds so great.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. So to me, that's the
for it.
ultimate potential in the short term of AR is removing the device out of my hand and allowing me to free them up.
Imagine going into a grocery store and there's a thing that you want. And instead of walking around for half an hour trying to find that thing, finding an employee to walk you over to it, you say what you want, and then arrows appear on the floor and it walks you down the aisle directly to where the product is. Right? There's just so many amazing use cases that could be in the future. And I think we're going to see a lot of these things. But first we need some tech that doesn't suck. So
straight up, that is that's really it. And so far, everything kind of does.
Yep.
So
right now, as we figure it out, right? But you can't just immediately go to amazing.
No, you can't.
I don't know if it's ever happened before, right? Everything is incremental, and because companies have to spend money to research this stuff for stuff people aren't buying. Where's the money coming from to pay for those things, right? So other projects have to happen to fund the development of something that eventually will take off, and very few companies can do something like that, and that's why Meta has all this money from social media and from extorting people. Did I say that? I'm sorry. And then, so they are able to put that money towards research and development for future tech that they know will eventually blow up if they can get the tech there.
Yeah.
So
well, and the other thing too, if you think about it, is it's not even just then because VR is there. VR is amazing. VR is incredible, and we're still not seeing adoption like we know it could be. You know what I mean? So even though the technology is already at that point, we still haven't made the impact on society that we all know that the technology can.
Yeah. That's a hard thing because
it's been growing though. It's getting more.
Totally
more
is
mainstream.
growing. Yeah, 100%.
It's one of those things that you can't put a stupid commercial on TV of some animatronic dolls wearing a headset and everyone goes out and buys it, right? You have to experience VR or you just don't get it. You can't get it. How do you explain to someone that you go somewhere else, right? And that you're some of these things don't make sense and do not impact people until they're put in the situation and they look around and they see it for themselves and then it clicks and they go, right? And that happens with a lot of people in VR. But we still, it's a hard thing because you can't just walk around and throw a headset on every single person's face, especially when they're so self-conscious.
I blame.
What was your first VR experience? What was the first thing?
Me?
Yeah.
So-
or both of you.
So my first VR experience was pretty life-changing, right? I was just a kid, but I went to a future technology show where they had the Virtuosity setup. I think that's what it was called. And they had a game called Dactyl Nightmare. And it was, there was these two large ring things that you stepped into. You had one controller in one hand and you had this massive CRT headset that you put on. And I stood in one and my sister stood in the other. And we ran around in space on these platforms and actually shot at each other. And it was so sick. And it was like 20 frames a second and would probably made a whole bunch of people throw up that day. But from that day forward, I knew that VR was going to be everything. Eventually, it was going to be everything. And as soon as I would get a chance to, I would absolutely adopt into it. And it took a long time. It took a really long time. But here we are, and I've changed my entire life based on that. But I guess my current gen experience, I guess, was with the PSVR, right?
Yeah.
And I went into PSVR Worlds and I did the London Heist. And the London Heist to me to this day is still one of the most immersive experiences that there is. I think it's incredible. The graphics are amazing. The story that it puts you in, the things that it makes you feel are all absolutely amazing. And I can't say enough good things about the London Heist. It is absolutely phenomenal.
PS4 Worlds in general just nailed it. Like a variety of compelling experiences, you know, which honestly made me believe that like anything that had VR attached to it was going to be great, because it's like here's a variety of experiences and every single one of them is dope. So like everything in VR must be dope, you know? My VR interest started before I really had a chance to like think about VR or do anything VR. And it was when I was modding my Nintendo Wii. I got really, really into modding my home consoles when I was younger, especially in the Nintendo stuff. And the Wii, you can just crack that thing open so easily. And I saw a video online of someone who had like reverse engineered the Wii to where like you could track the movement of the controller in like relative to the movement of the screen and the sensor bar. So there's like these like targets on the screen that were like moving with the depth perception that you would see like in a 3D movie or a VR game. And when I was watching him make that video and I watched the video, something clicked in my head and I realized that we weren't far away from being able to separate where I was aiming with where I was looking, because every first person shooter in existence connects the gun to your chin. So wherever I look, my gun is going with it. And I can't separate that and look off to the left and fire off to the right. In a traditional flat screen game. And when I saw that video, I realized that that's where we were going. So I was looking forward to having a VR experience that allowed head tracking and hand tracking separately. It was like less VR that I was looking for and more separating those two things. And I did the PSVR demo at a Best Buy, was very much impressed by it. And then I bought some time in a VR arcade. And when I played Rec Room and saw other people in virtual space with me and high-fived someone and felt the haptic in my hand of the high five, that was it. I was like, I just high-fived someone across space and time, and I'm living in the future, and VR is the real deal, and I am going to be a part of this.
Boom.
That's awesome.
That's it.
And how about you?
I think mine was the Blue. It was the Blue at the Valve demo for the first like real VR experience. I also did the Gear VR. I don't know if that counts. My friend showed me the Gear VR.
Yeah.
It was impressive back in the day.
Yeah. When it was all there was 3.VR, right?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I see where this is going, and it's pretty awesome, but it's not it yet.
Yeah, I mean, PSVR really did it. Like, I invited friends over after I got one, because it wasn't long after I tried these things that I found a PSVR to scoop up and play at my house. I invited friends over, and like one of the guys who I had over was playing super hot and was like on his back. Literally left his feet and was on his back by the time he got like shot in the game, because he was like, people were getting closer to him. He's like, no, and he like goes to the ground and he's crawling around and he's on his back and he's shooting up, and I was like, oh my god, like this guy's immersed.
I'm amazed that he didn't lose tracking on the PSVR.
I know,
that, right?
Well, maybe he did, but he was just too busy being an immersion overload.
Immersion's huge. So the Blue, huh? I remember the Blue.
Blue.
You saw that that giant whale come over and like its big eye just looking at you, right? That was pretty.
Yeah, I was
incredible.
impressed right away. I was like, this is amazing. I want to get immersed.
Immersion.
Immersion.
I'm gonna get immersed. So what's been immersing you lately? You know, what's the new hotness? You know, are you still kind of spending a lot of time in your modded Skyrim, or have you been getting into anything else?
No, I play a lot of Skyrim still, mostly to make videos these days.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's a lot of
I've just
creative
been
expression.
Sorry?
There's a lot of creative
Mhm.
expression there.
Yeah, yeah. I've just been kind of bouncing around lately. I played a lot of Zenith
Nice.
for a while. Then I got bored of that
Yeah.
until they
How
add
far
more.
did you get? Did you get to
hopefully.
40?
Did I? No, I didn't. No, I got to 27, and then I got bored.
Nice.
So,
Skeeve and I both
um,
got to 40, and then we were like,
We pieced
all
out.
right.
yeah, they'll add more. What have I been doing? No, I've just been kind of bouncing around. I've been doing a lot of Viveport games recently because
That's cool.
I
Nice.
just got that. So,
Nice.
um,
Viveport Infinity is what you're talking about, right?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, I'm sure everyone here does, but it's like the Netflix of VR, right? You pay a subscription fee and you can play anything in the catalog. And I think it's an absolutely unbelievable value for people that are not like us that get codes from developers, right? That have a ridiculous library as it is. But if you're new into VR and you want to experience as much as possible, because I know when I got a PSVR, I literally bought everything in the store. I just like went through the PSVR store and I bought all the garbage.
Same. Yeah.
And I was like, this is all going to be good. It's all in VR, right? And yeah, it wasn't. So, you know, I wish something like that was available then, because I spent a lot of money on games.
This is literally the best time ever. If you maybe would consider Viveport Infinity, this is the time, because right now, I sound like I work for them. Right now, if you subscribe for Viveport Infinity, you can get a copy, or you will get a copy of After the Fall to keep forever, regardless of your Infinity subscription status. So you basically can pay the monthly subscription fee now once, get After the Fall, and then dip, and you'll still have After the Fall for the rest of your life. So you can actually get After the Fall for less than its ticket price if you're willing to play it.
That's
on Viveport.
sick. And we are right at the beginning of all this content being released for it, right? We just got the new Horde mode with new weapons and some new enemies. We got new maps coming in following weeks, new game types even still. I mean, there's just so much. This game already, to me, held its value immediately. It got some bad rap for some reason. I'm not sure why, because I've never gotten 150 hours worth of anything for $30.
Yeah.
Like ever. I think, what is it, $30? I don't even know. But yeah, so I mean, I think it was an absolutely incredible game, super immersive. If you play it on PC VR, it's also one of the best looking games that there is. But if you play it on Quest, you still get the same game feel, and it's still awesome without the absolutely insane visuals.
Cross-platform.
And
They
cross-platform.
just gotta fix
yeah.
the party system. I don't know if they ever fixed that.
The party
It's
system.
disconnected every single time.
Yeah. So
Kind of.
usually now you're good when you join the party, but unless you're in the same lobby, you
So
still can't
They
hear
disconnect
each other.
you after you leave the.
Oh, it does.
room.
So after you leave the harvest run that you're in,
Mhm.
you have to reestablish a party. Yes. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
feel like they definitely have work to do, but they also have a decent sized team working on this around the clock. So
After the
we'll see what
Fall is
happens.
awesome.
Super
Right,
awesome.
no game out there is perfect. Everything's kind of got something that they
Mhm.
could work on or whatever. And I'm not about to
Mhm.
to give After the Fall any crap. I love
Mhm.
that game, and I will deal with the party thing for as long as I have to. I don't
Same.
want to, but I will.
Yeah.
I want them to fix
Same.
it, but I would continue playing if they never did.
Sometimes the gameplay is so good that you deal with bugs, you deal with this, you deal with that, knowing that eventually it's all going to be fixed, right? A few months from now, hopefully we don't have any of these things to gripe about. But at the same time, it's so good that I would go through whatever pain it was to be able to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Now, here's the question, though, and this is, I don't know, I'm like derailing this a little bit, I guess. But would that game be as good on a flat screen as it is? Like, would you still love After the Fall if it was a flat game, or does it have to be VR to be as good as it is?
Ah, man. So, I mean, that's a tough question, because you could ask that of a lot of different games. You could ask that of Half-Life Alyx, and we've found that as people have modded that into flat, that they say it's not good flat, right? Sometimes it's the mechanics and the feeling of being somewhere and the feeling of immersion that you cannot get on a flat screen. I mean, maybe some people can. I've never been so immersed since VR. I can't accomplish that.
Here's why I asked.
Flat.
It was borderline rhetorical, but it's
Okay.
not. You gave me a great answer. But the reason why I asked is because Demio is a VR game, and it is now coming out with a PC version that is
I saw
cross-platform compatible and cross-playable with the VR version. So I find this to be a very interesting situation because that begs the question, is Demio a great game on its own merits
We're gonna
without
find out.
virtual reality?
We're
Right.
definitely going to find
I
out.
feel like you could play that game on a PC though. Like I feel like it would still be a fun experience.
I think so too.
I can't think of another like D&D light game like that exists.
Mm-hmm.
To my
Yeah.
knowledge. And
I can't either. And we're going to find out because from what I saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you own this game in VR, you get the flat version free.
I did see
really?
that.
Mhm.
Yes. Yep.
yeah, that's
So
nice.
we can definitely go in and check it out and see how that's going to work as soon as that's all said and done.
Oh, I have one of my best friends from like childhood and just real life or whatever is a dude who I've been playing games with forever. Like we've always played games together, just MMOs, shooters. It does not matter. We're playing them, and I joined like this VR universe, and he did not. He bought the Quest 1 at the same time that I did, and he was like, this thing hurts, and like took it back, and that was it. And like I have not been able to get this dude back in.
Wow.
I know.
I can't even imagine.
I've been
can't
playing-
even imagine.
I've been playing Elden Ring, and like so is he. So like we're playing Elden Ring together right now, But like I wish I could get this dude to come and join me in some of these VR adventures. You know what I mean? And
This is so foreign to me.
it's
It's
trust
so foreign.
Put them
especially-
in VR chat. Take
I-
them around VR chat.
trust me. I think it's like hardware. There's just I don't know,
I-
dude.
I guess I
if
get
I
some
can't
of the
convince
concerns,
him,
but
I don't even know.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's weird to me.
So, but
Yeah.
I'm
Weird.
excited for this because this is the kind of game that I know that he and I would love to play together. Like we vibe on this kind of thing. We've played MMOs together and all that kind of stuff. So for us to be able to play games like this, I've always wanted to be able to bring him in, and I'm going to put him on the PC version. And we're going to see. And if all of a sudden, it's another 3.5 hour Roots of Evil campaign, like the one I did this week with Quicksilva and Chromasnare, shout out. We did it. 3.5, 4 hours in the Roots of Evil. Jesus Christ. But yeah, we got it done. And I'm going to invite my flat screen homie into it. And
Nice.
yeah, I'll let you guys know because I have a feeling it's going to be good.
Yeah. I would think it would be. I mean, obviously
work.
VR brings some.
I kind of want like a nothing against Demi. I love that game, but I want like a more in-depth D&D VR game. I've been wanting one for years, and I think a lot of people have, where like you take control of the character and you have a game master that's like above you and like place
Ooh.
different stuff down.
So like you
I
imagine being in
saw-
first person with the DM like
Yeah.
as God in the sky?
Someone was working on something like that years ago, and then I think nobody heard anything about it. I don't remember what it was called, Legend of
I
something.
remember two.
Hmm.
That were
Then they
like
just
this.
stopped doing work on. But
Interesting.
it's a good idea. Like I'd want to play that.
Well,
And, like actually be very.
I don't think I would, if I'm being honest. And I like D&D. I think is pretty cool. But honestly, I'm a video gamer. Like the theater of the mind is a pretty powerful and profound thing. But like watching these things unfold in real time in front of me is way more exciting, in my opinion. Like it takes 10 minutes for a battle exchange to happen on a D&D table that would happen in 1 second in a video game. You know,
That's
it's
true.
like way more action, way more intense. So I'm taking that. And it took us almost 4 hours to beat the Roots of Evil in Demio, which is designed to be streamlined and done in one single session. Like the amount of time that I would spend doing a true D&D campaign in VR that's like a lifestyle, like, and I'm not signing up for that. I'm glad Demio exists.
Yeah.
I feel like
Um,
multiplayer games in VR are some of the best experiences that you can have because you can share them just like in real life. It's never quite as amazing when you have this amazing thing happening and there's no one to share it with, right? But at the same time, we do not have the player base. We meaning VR doesn't have the player base of flat screen gaming, right? So if you are releasing a game that depends on multiplayer, it's a little bit of a game of Russian roulette because if you can't get people into this game, your game's going to die. And I've seen amazing games with no one in the lobby.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart. And I can't figure out where the people are for these games.
Like literally no one.
Yeah.
Like empty lobbies.
Like you
Yeah.
bring a friend in, it's like you and them, and that's it. And you're like, where is everyone? Why is no one playing this game? So, even if you have a really good game, you could screw yourself with making a game that relies on multiplayer.
Do you enjoy multiplayer VR experiences, Gingas?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I played a lot of VR chat. I don't play a lot of competitive VR games because I'm terrible at them. Like I have Population 1, but I will die pretty much right away. But I like that game because of the haptics integration. That's why I play it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And just
Feel
the
the wind and
feeling
stuff,
of
it's great.
jumping off of buildings,
Yeah.
even without it, right? I mean, the mechanics in that game are freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then you get
Climbing
shot
everything.
by like a child after a minute.
Yeah. There's some nasty people in there. There is. Really good people.
Some sweaty mofos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some
Yep.
I
sweats.
really want a multiplayer Blade and Sorcery game. I feel like I would be good at that.
Ooh.
Like one where you can kick things. Like
You
full
just
body
need
tracking
kicking.
and start
You
using
know what's
my
nuts?
height moves.
Why aren't the Vive body trackers? They've been around forever.
They have been around.
Forever. Why aren't they supported in more things? Why can't I go into Zenith and kick something? Or why
I
can't
think
I?
they
you know-
wanted. They talked about adding that eventually.
It's for the same reason that
Yeah.
not every developer has haptics integration,
But-
because it takes
Dude,
extra
but
work and not
haptics
everyone has it.
has 100 times the integration that the full body trackers have.
And there's probably 100 times more vests
1,000
out there.
more.
There's
yeah,
probably way more vests out there
you're
than there
right.
are trackers.
But it's a chicken and the egg thing, right? Because people aren't going to buy body trackers if no one implements them,
Right.
and no one's going to implement them until more people buy them.
Right.
So what's happening here? I feel like you need companies like HTC using their influence and their relationships with these developers to get this stuff implemented. But instead they go, here's the thing, we're not even going to talk to anyone to get this stuff implemented. Well, why not? You're HTC, right? You are HTC. That's a big deal.
right.
Ask these people to
Honestly,
implement this
I'm
stuff.
guessing because VR chat and Neos have probably sold a lot of trackers for them. I know a lot of people
Sure,
have bought
so-
trackers specifically for that.
Keep implementing.
Well, I mean, because what else is there? Blade and Sorcery
That's
and
true.
Skyrim, and you can only
Yeah.
Does it work in Skyrim? I guess.
It works with natural locomotion. There's no full body, but I use it for that all the time.
Mm.
So like I put them on my feet and then I use it as a treadmill because
Nice.
I don't
Oh,
like
cool.
VR treadmills. Talked about this before.
Yeah, I don't either. I feel you on that.
I also
yeah.
do not think we're even remotely close
Mhm.
to a VR treadmill situation.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, like, why don't you have a catwalk C?
Yeah, VR.
And I'm like, ah, dude,
You're sliding
slide
in
mills?
place.
No, I don't.
You wear a
want
diaper. It's a diaper and you slide.
Yeah,
I do
How about
think
that?
that it's
How about
pretty
that?
cool, like watching a streamer use one. You know, like
Yeah.
I think if you're a
it's
streamer,
entertaining to watch.
but like,
sure.
dude, I would be gassed after like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes, I'd be done.
if I'm gonna actually run and use locomotion with my feet, it's gonna be cyber shoes. And I know like it's not the most popular option, but to me, I can put them in a drawer or I can hang them on my wall like they are over there on the ship, right? And I can move the stool in. I can set it up really high where I feel almost like I'm standing, and I can get some exercise. And then when I'm done, I just put it away, right? The catwalk C is like 150 pounds. The heck am I going to do with that thing?
Yeah.
Right? Like
And
Yeah.
really expensive.
really expensive.
Same with natural locomotion. Like all I have to do is just start it up and I can run in place.
Yep.
And to me it feels great.
Yeah.
Jump.
Yep.
Um
I personally think those are a much better option
Yeah.
for where we are right now until we have something like, like what Ready Player One promises to have in the future for treadmills. And that was using an actual treadmill that's sold in the market, but it's a way more advanced version in the movie, right? Because you can't really move like that on the.
Wasn't it based on the Infinideck?
It is.
Yeah.
It is based on the
Yeah.
Infinideck.
I think
yeah.
they even call it the Infinideck in the movie.
I think they do. And it is not. It is similar, but you cannot move like he moves on it.
He's literally sprinting.
Yeah, sprinting,
On his
coming to a
toes.
stop, like you can't do that.
Yeah.
You definitely can't do that.
Now, and dude, I feel like the last time I checked, things were not going well for the Infinideck. Like I feel like they were like on their way out or something like that. I could be wrong, but Last time I
tough.
checked, it
I've
sounded
heard
like they weren't
mixed
doing
things
good.
from people that have tried it. I know some people that have gotten to experience it.
Well,
And it's cool. I don't know if you
It is
guys have
neat.
tried it.
It's
When
neat.
I,
I haven't tried one yet.
when I went to OC6, I was standing in line to try it, and while I was waiting, I was interviewing the guy, and that's like one of the more viewed videos on AlexVR. And it like broke while I was interviewing him.
Oh,
I'm like talking to him, and like the guy is like standing over there, just like trying to move, and he couldn't, and they like shut down the demos, you know. So like
dang it.
it wasn't even like working well when I did manage to see it in real life, and I did not get to try it. But honestly, it did not look good. Let's just be real. It did not.
Even if it worked perfectly, how many people are going to put a contraption that size in a dedicated space to, I mean,
When you
I
want
don't know.
that or a car,
Right.
'Cause you get the
right.
pick.
right.
You know.
Well, I mean, I get, so I guess people do put treadmills in their homes, but they're still so much smaller.
Not
Right.
for that. I
So, right.
think we have to get to like Neuralink level of VR before.
Oh, I can't
it'll
wait.
Feel good.
I cannot wait. People, like, I have family that it's always like, please, when that becomes available to the public, please just don't get in line right away. Let's see what happens with everyone else. I'm like,
How do you
with that
feel?
in mind-
Did you see the interview with Elon Musk where he said people get motion sick with VR really easily? I don't know if you watched that.
I didn't, but people do.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was saying like he's never gonna catch on. Like VR is not a thing because everyone gets motion sick. I don't know if you saw that video.
I
I'd
did
look
not
up
see
the-
that video, actually. I did not.
Yeah,
That's-
check it out.
That's
'cause
interesting because
it
he
makes
is
me
a,
not like
that's a
Elon Musk as
bummer.
much anymore.
oh no.
He was dissing VR. He was like, "God, this is."
That's crazy because he said he's
pointless.
going to stream the Mars mission into VR headsets when that happens. So
Yeah.
But also, you know, let's be real. All right, like what percentage of randoms, your Joes and Sallys, do report that after they have their first VR experience?
at least half, I would say.
At least half.
Mhm.
That is broken. That is not
Yeah.
functional. You can't have 60% of the people get physically sick when they try your technology.
Remember when we had Short Stack on a couple weeks ago, right? Short Stack VR, and he was saying that he had to go a month with playing for 2 to 5 minutes, taking it off, and then doing it again the next day and doing it again the next day. That is dedication. When you know something is so awesome that you need to train yourself to do it. People, your Joe and Sally Walmart ain't going to do that. They're just not. They're not going to do that. And it's a bummer. So if you are one of the people that does get motion sickness, the whole thing is kind of ruined for you unless you understand how profound it is and how amazing it is and you're willing to endure some shit to get there, right?
Honestly, I felt like I found that jogging in place really does help. Like if you're moving
There's-
forward, if you just
yeah.
like move your body,
It
then-
does. I
I don't get
agree.
motion sick anymore, but
It
that helped me
does,
when I-
and fans pointing fans at you. The magnetic motion sickness bracelets can help. Eating ginger. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that can definitely help. And eventually, you train yourself, and it goes away. For the most part, some people know because they still can't get in a car after their entire life and not get motion sick in a car. So those people obviously have different capacity to withstand motion sickness.
Well, it also comes down to the quality of the experience too.
This is true.
Like you go into one of those mall kiosk things, you're gonna
God.
get
You're
sick. It
gonna
doesn't
get
matter
sick.
who you are.
Yep.
You know, and there
Yep.
are a lot of people who that is their perspective and perception of what virtual reality is.
Yeah.
So like that's a huge, huge hurdle to get over.
If I was president of the world, I would make 3DOF VR illegal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elect me, people.
You know, I think we should because I have the most uncomfortable thing I have ever done, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, is playing on the Nintendo Labo and firing up Breath of the Wild. It destroyed
God.
my life. 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes maybe, and I was destroyed on the couch for hours. And we should like do a game show or something. It's like, oh, you think you don't get motion sick? Welcome to the show, everyone. Today we've got these guys, and they're all gonna play Nintendo Labo, Breath of the Wild, and whoever makes it the longest wins the first place. And it would be brutal. It would be hard to watch.
It would
'cause
be.
It is not easy to
Oof.
do. I don't care who you are. I don't think you could stomach it.
No, that was a particularly bad implementation, right? We've seen modders get way way better versions of Breath of the Wild than Nintendo was able to pull off. And I don't know why. I don't know how it got through their quality control system. Because it's Nintendo. Like, they usually have pretty legit quality control. What happened there?
And the thing is like Labo itself, like the Labo software, that's not a problem. Like, it's fine, you know, like it looks okay, like it's fun. It's not, it doesn't make you sick, you know, but they should have never added a VR mode to Breath of the Wild or to Super Mario Odyssey. They should just not touched them. Like, just leave them alone. Like, you didn't need to do that.
I agree.
But how are they gonna charge it? How are they gonna market it?
I mean, I don't know. They didn't really. That's dead in the water. Like, who has Labo? Who's still using that? I mean,
You need to give Nintendo your money. They need all the money.
So the best part about Labo, and we all know it, is the process of actually building the things, building the headset things, and then at the end, your reward is a 5-minute cheesy VR experience that you're going to forget about 20 minutes later. But building the thing that took an hour was awesome.
It was actually.
Yeah.
And if any of you guys want to go reward yourselves with some Breath of the Wild VR, I dare you. And I would love to hear how horrible your experience was.
Don't ruin VR for yourself. Don't do it.
Or it'll ruin your night. That's all it'll really ruin.
Yeah.
It'll ruin your night.
Yeah. Dang.
I'm gonna get some footage of some people doing that. I think at one point it'll be fun.
Oh man,
maybe not you.
So last episode or the episode before, we had on the Epic Roller Coaster team, right? Or not the team, but one of the main people from Epic Roller Coasters. And they were saying how they had people that are susceptible to motion sickness, and they test their stuff on them. So we are gonna have to find some people that we can exploit for views.
Yeah, that's literally all it would be. It would be like, you know, these guys are trying to get through the worst VR experience of all time. Let's see how long they can last, you know.
Yeah,
did you try that anti-motion sick thing at CES? It was like in a little side booth, and it goes in VR, and they like flash lights inside the headset.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I remember that being a thing.
It was
and
interesting.
I wanted to see it, but I didn't. How was that?
I don't get motion sick, so I couldn't really tell the difference. But I feel like it might help. Like, there was a point where it's like steady, you know, depending where you're looking at. So, like,
that's
the
interesting.
science is
There was so much
valid.
happening at CES. I could not get to everything. I just couldn't. For anyone that hasn't been to CES before, it is the large, like, you can't even comprehend how large this is. Imagine the largest expo center you've ever seen. Multiply that probably by 100.
Slap a couple hotels on it.
And then make that multiple expo centers throughout all of Las Vegas. It's not just one expo center. First of all, you got to take a car from like South Hall to West Hall to East Hall to North Hall, right? But then you actually got to Uber or take a bus or drive to like the Venetian or like all of these other places where they have their largest expo centers completely packed to the brim with stuff. It's impossible to see everything. You can't. You
the
just
Vive
can't do
exhibit, I couldn't even get to. I was walking for like an hour trying to get to HTC. And then they shut down by the time we got there.
That one was, what was that? It was a hotel I had never been in before until.
Remember that, like the back of the hotel?
Yeah, and I did go to that, and I gotta say, HTC had the nicest looking thing there, right? Which is too bad, because if they if they could get the level that of the people who design their booths and their social things, if they could get that level into designing VR stuff, oh my God, imagine where that company would be. Imagine, right?
If you could design your tech as well as you design this booth, maybe we'd have some sweet stuff.
They have amazing setups for these social things. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous. Their designers know exactly what colors to use and what things to put where, and you just walk in and you're like, oh, imagine if your products were this good.
I'm using Vive right now.
The Vive Pro is amazing.
Vive Pro. Yeah, I love my Vive Pro.
Vive Pro is amazing. And me and we've talked about this before, why it's amazing, right? Because Valve designed the Vive, and then all HTC did with the Vive Pro was put a better screen in there. That's about it, right? So it's still a Valve.
And they added eye tracking. That's why I'm still using that.
Oh, the Vive Pro Eye. Yep, true. Which is Toby. So, right? Isn't it Toby eye tracking?
And it's Toby.
Yeah, so they didn't do that.
Well, but at least they gave you a nice microphone, right? Oh no, wait.
No,
you're using a mod mic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the microphone is terrible.
Oh, HTC. I'm actually going to an HTC party on Monday night, so I should be quiet.
What, really?
Yeah.
In
HTC.
Vegas?
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Yep, they're throwing a party there.
Why am I not going to that?
I don't know. I don't know. You
there.
should probably come. There's the first 2 days aren't even expo. The first 2 days are a VR summit.
Yeah, I see.
You can try their
all
Fiverse,
VR.
Five metaverse.
You know,
We talked about this.
I would try
I know
it.
I
would
saw
love to
your
try
video
it.
talking about that before.
I would love to try it. I would.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited. I'm excited to try anything. I would
Right.
love to try it. I loved to try Horizon.
Yep.
And now I love to talk crap about it.
You know.
Have we tried Horizon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh,
Have you?
yeah, I tried it.
Sucks, doesn't it?
once.
It sucks really bad, huh?
I need you. Not only do I need you to kind of look back and really take in what you saw in Horizon, but I need you to look and understand that there's like 11,000 people and like $10 billion a year being pumped into creating
You serious?
that.
Jesus. I mean,
like,
for that amount of money, I don't
what?
want them to do it, but they should just buy VR chat. Like,
They
feel
should
like
they
they
should
would-
buy VR chat or Neos or something, right? And
That's
God
gotta
forbid
be
they
better
ever
for
did
them.
that, I would throw up, right? I would be so sad.
yeah,
It would be
nobody wants
ridiculous.
that, but like,
Right? But why aren't they doing that? Buy some tech that is okay instead of making all of those people fail.
Because they're like trying to establish a legacy. They want to be the company that ushered in the new era
Yeah.
of humanity.
Good luck with
And-
that.
Yeah, and they think that they're going to do it,
Back.
and Horizon is never going
Well,
to do it.
Facebook needs to look at what happened with MySpace, right? They took over the big boom that was happening with MySpace. That's going to happen to them too because they just
Yeah.
can't get their stuff together.
Yeah, dude.
it's
yeah.
already happening.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's been crazy to watch this company over the past couple of years. Like we watched them get into the VR space and this whole Oculus thing. Like we haven't really talked too much about like the name change and all of that, but oh my God, is this like not the stupidest thing ever?
So companies,
They're trying to get away from Facebook. Facebook
they are,
isn't-
and that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense because Facebook has a lot of bad dirt that they probably don't want to, be associated with anymore. But not only that, but they know that is a dying thing. Now, that turned into this hip, awesome, cool thing to do, Facebook, right? And now it's just a bunch of moms and grandmas and grandpas yelling at each other over politics. It's no fun anymore. It's
Yeah.
not the place to be. And they know that. They know that. They have metrics. They know all about metrics and how things work and who's doing what because they collect everyone's information. They see this ship
Right.
sinking. They see
But
it.
like Oculus, though,
Right.
like Oculus
So-
was a trusted name.
Companies spend their entire existence trying to have brand awareness, right? They spend millions of dollars in advertisement, putting things in places that doesn't even belong, just so when people see the logo, they know what it is and it's in their mind. Oculus was one of the things that started to really get there.
Yes.
People call VR the Oculus.
Even
right?
now.
Even if it's not an Oculus.
Yep.
They got
Yeah.
there and they threw it out the window. That goes to show you what kind of management and thinking is behind this stuff.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like I'm not a real I'm not like a business executive decision maker person, And I don't know, maybe one day, who knows where my life is going to go, but I'm not that guy. And so I have to. There's like a part of me that wants to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's like, hold on a second, no, they run companies, like they must know. They must have something. Like they must have. There must be a good reason to just toss Oculus into the trash. And we just keep going on, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it. And
I think their reason, honestly, is they tried to buy internet.com. Like they saw things happening previously, and they wanted to get in front of it, and they weren't able to. And now they see the future of what the metaverse can be and what it can become. And they have stepped right in front of that.
Right.
And they want it to be the next thing. And I think it will be, but I don't think they have what it takes.
Well-
right. So making your company name Meta so you can eventually put out something called the Verse is kind of genius. Imagine if one company was called Inter and they had a product called Net or something like that, right?
Right.
The internet. And they kind of nailed the entire existence of a thing that's this global decentralized thing and put it in their pocket. And that's what Meta's trying to do. They're trying to capitalize on something that they don't.
I do get that, but I don't know why they, for some reason, thought that like the two things had to be mutually exclusive. You know, like the headset Oculus could still have existed, and they could have still changed their company name to Meta and still made everything metaverse. You know, so it's almost like they were like just went way too far. Like it was like hey, let's color code our outfit, and they got a blue hat and a blue turtleneck and blue sunglasses and a blue t-shirt and blue gloves and blue hat and like blue pants and like socks and blue shoes. You know, like everything's just completely blue, and it's like, bro, that's too much blue. You know, so like at this point, like you know, like
or they did it too quickly. Like they should have changed their name.
They did. They should have made it. They should have like planted the seed and had everybody start accidentally calling it a Meta Quest before they changed the name or something.
But you know, like you were saying, having the Meta, you know, having an Oculus Quest by Meta. What the heck is wrong with that?
Nothing. And like I remember watching the NFL or the NBA Finals a couple of years ago after the Quest 2 was like, I think the Quest 1 was out, Quest 2 was coming, and the Oculus logo was on the court of the NBA Finals. Like, and now what? Now that's just nothing. Like, oh yeah, we were on the court of the NBA Finals, but that company's gone.
They threw it all away.
Yeah, like that's just. I was blown.
A better logo too. Everyone likes it.
Better name, better logo. Like everything about it's better. So I don't know. Maybe we're naive and we don't understand big companies or whatever. But the more time goes on, the more I think that they really did make a huge mistake.
Yeah. What's your thought on this, Gingas?
I don't know. I think maybe the Zuck's alien ship, you know, they gave him some instructions.
They just beamed it down. They're like, you must change your name to Meta. I will.
Yeah. Phase 3 initiated.
World domination. Almost complete.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You know, at the end of the day, while this conversation that we're having is definitely one that should be had, and, you know, we should be concerned and we should be talking about all this stuff, the Quest really is awesome. Quest 2's doing great. People are buying it. Random people. You know, I had somebody that I grew up with recently. He was really good friends with my brother, and our families were kind of friends. I actually saw he commented on someone else's show that I did recently. I did a podcast with this guy who's an Indian VR content creator, and we synced up our schedules and we did this thing.
Davidney?
No, it wasn't Avi. It was. I wish I could remember his name right now. I hope he doesn't see this and hate me for it. But anyway, I did a show, and this person who I grew up with commented on that video. I just like went over to it, and I saw a comment. He was like, "Hey man, how's it going?" He was like talking to me like on someone else's video. He was like, "Hey, I got a VR headset, and you know, I got it for the kids, but I'm using it all the time." And so I hit him up on Facebook, and I sent him a message. I'm like, "Hey, it's cool that you got into VR," and talked to him about it for a little while. And I was like, "Oh, by the way, I do a podcast called Between Realities. Like, you're welcome to come in and check it out or whenever." He's like, "Yeah, I've watched a handful of episodes. I actually didn't know what VR was until I saw it."
Oh, wow.
And he's like, "And now I have it, and now I'm into it." So like, he was like, he didn't lead with that.
Yeah.
He just like pretended like he was like already in VR, but then he was like, "Actually, it was because I saw your stuff." I was like, "Dang, that's really awesome."
Wow.
So this kid was not a gamer. You know, he's like, he plays guitar. He's like American Idol kind of dude. You know what I mean? But he's in VR now, and it's because of the Quest, and it's because there's people like us out here making videos and talking about VR. So
spreading the word.
It's happening. You know, people, randoms are scooping this stuff up. I mean, maybe he's not so random, right? Because he's in my circle and I'm constantly posting, but it felt random to me. And I think that's it. To me, it's evidence that just everyone's starting to get involved, you know, and a lot of those people are still buying Oculus Quests. Still says Oculus right on the box.
I like the Quest. I don't know. I don't like how it's overtaken everything VR though. Like if you talk about VR, people automatically think.
And there's that brand awareness, right? Wow.
Yeah.
What anyone would do for that. Okay. Oh, VR? Oh, you mean the Oculus?
Mean the Quest.
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't mean
so much more. Especially like I think I tweeted about this. Like I'm someone that really am into PC VR, but you pretty much have to do Quest content too.
Yeah.
If you do any kind of VR.
If you want any views, of course.
And I mean, and if you think it's bad for us, imagine what it's like being a developer. Like as a developer in VR right now, you're basically strong-armed into making content for that platform.
And hoping that they're going to let you into the store without knowing that you will be let into the store. You're going to spend all of this time, research, development, coding, all of this time, and you probably won't make it in.
And they won't even give you a reason.
And they won't even give you a reason. They won't even tell you why. You're just not allowed in to their little club, which is insane because we have games like Gun Raiders. We have games like Grapple Tournament. We have stuff like Gorilla Tag and all of these things that are so amazing that are probably like Space Slurpees, things that are better than most of the things in the store right now that aren't allowed in. Because I think everything there is just corrupt.
Yeah.
They've been doing that for a long, even before the whole meta stuff. The old, Rift versus or Oculus versus Steam VR. Do you remember that? Like back in the day.
Oh yeah, I remember.
They always have been exclusive, and they wouldn't.
So I really do think they like take curation to a whole different plateau.
Yeah.
Because
they curate good stuff out of their store, which is no way to do business.
That's shut up.
Seriously.
I know. That's not the point I'm trying to make here. The point I'm making is that like you can't they don't want to have 50 contractors on the store, even if they're all good. Like they don't want to like flood their official store with way too many options and make it difficult. They want to be like Costco, where like they've already chosen the best thing for you, so that way it just simplifies it.
Anything else on the store that looks remotely like Space Slurpees.
And maybe they have a different reason for that one, right? But there are games like when I look at stuff like Grapple Tournament, or Gun Raiders, and like all of those, it's like they already have like Hyperdash on there. They already have this thing or that thing. It's like how many more? Like, do we want to flood our store?
And that's kind of what I mean with the corruption, right? Where they have these partners that are somehow in bed with them, and they're okay, and they're like, oh no, you're our boy.
They'd rather have you buy Population 1,
right? And so we're gonna just say no to everything else so we can sell more of your thing, because we're invested in you.
I'm not defending them, but it might be. So that way they make sure that when that one game gets bought by that random Joe and Sally, that it's good. Like it's not some indie piece of crap. It's like legit.
Yeah,
like
sure.
Really great. You know what I mean?
Sure. But a couple of these are better than some of the AAA like stuff that they have.
I agree.
Gun Raiders has some of the best gun mechanics I have played anywhere in VR. PC VR, Quest, doesn't even matter.
Right.
That game's not in the store. What is happening?
Well, here's the other thing,
Grapple Tournament? What? The people who are
The people who are making these decisions probably don't know as much as you. You're probably more qualified to curate that store than some of the people who do. Because you think they have that much time in every single game that comes out? No way. They're like looking at it. Maybe they watch a video. Maybe they pop in for like a minute and they make their decision. I bet you that you would be more qualified to do it than anybody.
But what's going on with Gorilla Tag? I don't like Gorilla Tag, okay? But a bazillion quadrillion people love it. And that game has probably the highest multiplayer base out of any VR game. Period. What is happening there?
I think that reinforces my point. I think that they want to choose what you're going to buy. And even though a ton of people out there say Gorilla Tag is great, if you bought that, you would have hated it. You would have tried it? Yes, you.
Me. But the vast majority, 90%, would have loved it.
Well, maybe children or something, but maybe not, like the person who's buying games. And I mean, take one look at it and you can tell me all the things that you hate about it visually. You're like, it looks like a PS1 game and I hate this and I hate that. Like, they don't want people to buy that game and say those things. So they want to remove any game that you could possibly talk smack about, which, again, there's plenty on there that you could talk tons of smack about.
Yeah, there is.
So they're missing the mark a little bit, but I think that's the intention. And I think that that's why some of these games have a tough time making it, because at first glance, it just looks like a dumb game, and they don't want that. They want everything that they can to look as good as possible.
Yeah, I think it's more mafia mentality.
Probably.
Hey, we're a thing here. It doesn't matter who's coming in. You're my boy. You're going to get all the sales because I say so. I run the ship.
Most of the games that they do that with are fantastic. Population 1, Beat Saber, Hyper Dash, like all of the ones that do get put into that spot are usually really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play Feet Saber, not Beat Saber.
Oh, we need to play Feet Saber. Is it fun? Like, are you having a blast?
I love it.
Playing Feet Saber?
I never got into Beat Saber until I started using my feet.
Wow.
I became interested in it.
Does it feel like you're dancing?
I don't know. Yeah, I used to play a lot of DDR as a kid. So
Oh, there you go.
they really I love doing the Squidward dance. I just think it's more fun. I don't know if you've tried it.
I
at
haven't.
all
Do you have
before.
trackers here now?
I do.
Maybe we'll try that one of
You
these
should give it a
days.
shot.
Yeah.
It's great.
Maybe I will do a little foot saber action.
It's
People are
more
having a blast with it.
exciting. You're just moving your arms with Beat Saber, but now you gotta like dance around.
I for
Beat
one.
Saber's amazing. All right, I don't want to hear that. It's super exciting. It's fantastic.
I think it's pretty good.
You look
Wearing-
silly. You
wearing a
look a
Beat
little
Saber shirt.
silly, just like swinging your arms around.
You look silly. I look like a ninja. I look like a double-handed samurai going ham. That's me.
You know, I was talking to someone the other day about VR, and they had never tried it. And I was like, oh, I got to get you into VR. And they're like, I'm not doing VR in front of you. Because I'm like, why? I'm like, because I'm going to look like an idiot. And it's like, in that was the very first time I truly realized that people don't try VR because they're afraid of how they look.
Self-consciousness.
I had no idea that was really a thing. I've kind of heard it, you know, like, oh, people, but no, like this person was serious. Like, oh my God, what are you going to think? I'm going to look so dumb. It's like, wow, I can't even imagine. I got in that headset. It was so profound and so amazing to me. I didn't give a crap what was happening outside of it. Like, it was just the most amazing thing I'd ever experienced. And it took over every bit of my sensory. And it's all I wanted from that point forward.
There are probably some people who view that as being vulnerable. You know, like you're like
Sure.
taking over their senses. Like now they're vulnerable in a way that they weren't when they're
True.
just sitting in the room. It's like trying to convince somebody to go dancing. You know, like
Yes.
it's like they're gonna look like I'm gonna look stupid. And it's like, yeah, bro, but have you ever danced? It feels so good. Like let it out. And they're like, nope, and they'll just bottle it up. And even though they would love
kinda me.
dancing, you're not gonna get them on.
That's
their dance
me. I
floor.
can understand that. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dang.
Dang, indeed.
You know?
Maybe we should go dancing, bro. Maybe this is your wake up. This is VR as a self-realization tool. You
Yeah.
realize
Maybe.
that you don't feel silly putting a headset on.
Skiva
you
the
shouldn't
dancing
when you go
queen.
dancing. Yeah,
Let's
man.
do it.
Let's go rip it up.
I don't
Or
know.
play some Dance Central maybe or
I don't
something
know.
like that.
Maybe. I think there's dancing VR games, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not really. Is there? I haven't tried
Yeah.
Dance
You know,
Central.
Dance
dancing
Central.
VR
Yeah.
games?
You're right. There is Dance Central. Mm-hmm.
And
with like
there's-
full body tracking though. Like, that's what I'm-
no, I don't think so. And like
Yeah.
Space Team 5 is another one, I
Yep,
think. It's
true.
like rhythm dancing kind of thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, nothing for that full body experience. You got to go into the deep cut rooms of VR chat for those.
It's funny because
Yeah.
we talk about people that won't play VR because they're afraid of how they'll look. And then we look who we have on the show right now, right? We have this person that only puts on a VR headset and only shows himself with a VR headset and has these crazy googly eyes and does, you know, absolutely bananas things in virtual reality and puts it on the internet. And I think it's amazing. And I love that you do this. And I'm a big fan of your content. So did we get into like why you haven't shown
Why?
your
Yeah,
face?
yeah, we talked about it.
We did a little bit.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
mostly for the gimmick.
Okay.
And also, you know, like I get trolled a lot in my videos, so I don't really want to give them more ammunition.
Yeah. Is that like
Interesting.
was that something that you were expecting, or was that kind of unexpected? And how's it been to navigate that for you?
I think no, I was expecting it, but I shout at my trolls now, so I don't know if you've seen some of those videos, but I'll take their
shout 'em
profile
out.
picture and then I'll feast it at them. And edit their
Yes.
picture to blow away.
That is
but
definitely
I just use them for
fueling
content
the
now,
fire.
so I love
though,
it.
Right? Because aren't you afraid that people are going to troll you more because now they're going to end up in one of your videos?
No, because now I get more comments from people. 'cause they
Yeah,
don't
it's
really wanna get
engagement,
trolled.
baby. Woo, bring it
It's
on.
engagement.
True.
Let's get some trolls, bro. I've
had trolls. I don't
have
like it.
actually.
I don't like
Yeah.
it. You know, and I see people like Tribe Grey Wolf is one of my dear friends. I don't know if he's here right now, and if you're not, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. But he makes TikTok content now, right? And he does things where he'll put his wife in VR and she'll do things, and they get such terrible comments. like things like, why is she in VR? She should be in the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like ridiculous things. And then he'll say something back to them, and then he'll get a warning from TikTok. Like he said something about like, why don't we make you a knuckle sandwich? And boom, he almost got his TikTok account suspended. And
I could talk like all day about their stupid moderation.
It is so dumb.
I've gotten 13 violations. I mean, now I'm fine, but like it's so dumb.
Didn't you get a violation that you were too young?
One of them was said minor safety. I've gotten a couple for nudity and sexual harassment or something for wearing a haptic vest in VR chat. I was just doing a video of people like coming up to my avatar and touching it, and they're like, "Oh, that's sexual harassment."
Wow.
It's so dumb.
Wow. Unreal.
You can appeal it. Like 90% of them, it goes through again, but the warning still stays in your account for 3 months, even if it gets appealed. Still, like, oh, you broke the rules.
Well, I do think it's safe to say that your content, for the most part, then has been widely received and praised as good stuff, and people really do enjoy it. You know, we do enjoy it anyway. I guess we can speak for on behalf of others here in a moment or for this moment, but you know, it's very creative, and we love how you're pushing the envelope, and it obviously resonates with people because you've managed to grow yourself a nice little following, and it looks like you're having a ton of fun, and we're really glad that you're able to be a part of the community and come and join us on the show today.
Yeah. It's been awesome.
We are glad that you think it was awesome.
It was great.
It was
Stay immersive.
Very immersive. This is an immersive experience for us all, and immersion overload here with GingasVR. In the description below, we have some links.
We do. On the monitor right below me and in the description, you can go down there and you can click on all of the different links. Click follow, click subscribe, click the like buttons, click the heart buttons, click all the buttons, right? Except for like the report buttons. Don't do that. But
use my mods. Play some
use the mods, right? I know I'm gonna install this stuff. You've done a lot of work to make this easy for people to have really good experiences and things like Fallout 4. So I'm stoked to get in there and see what you've done.
GingasVR, thanks again. Have yourself a fantastic weekend, and please don't be a stranger. Stay in touch with us.
Bye.
Say goodbye to GingasVR, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And she gone.
She gone.
Never to be seen again.
She gone.
See you later, GingasVR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. I feel like, hanging out with Gingas at CES was absolutely amazing. I feel like, we got a friendship, and that's fantastic. And it's always good chilling with a homie on the show. So
it is. Game on Scorpio, Red/Ace, Chroma Snare, Hilt VR, Florian, Nick Green, Arcanian. Shouldn't say Arcadian.
Right.
I live in Arcadia, by the way. You guys know that? Come find me. Come find me. I dare you. Space Denizen, Chroma Snare. Did I already say Chroma? Eric Hartley. Saw E Hearts.
Wow.
E-.
E-. Right on.
Yeah, dude. The Virtual Game God was trying to get Gingas to show her eyes earlier. Sadly, it's Bradley.
What's up, guys? Thank you all for coming.
Hussein X, Red/Ace, Mentos, Ohio. Thank you guys really for being here and being a part of the live broadcast of the Between Realities VR podcast. What are we doing next week?
Next week, we have the Beardo Benjo coming directly into the show to chill with us and talk VR.
He's a
awesome
dude.
Guy.
A great dude.
With a beard.
Has a beard. He has a YouTube channel. He has been really gaining some steam and some traction in the VR community for the past year or so. He is on the Crewcast podcast with Gamertag VR. He also plays Elden Ring, and we will be talking to him a week from now next Friday. So have a good weekend, everybody. Please join us in the Between Realities Discord for some multiplayer VR games, because that's really how I play VR, is with others. So please come give me a reason to play something.
If you're going to be at the Amusement Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada, hit me up. Let me know. Shoot me a DM, however you want to get a hold of me, and we'll say what's up.
And we will say goodbye to all of you. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week with Beardo Benjo. Take care.
Bye-bye.